What is cocaine commonly cut with? Most cocaine that's out there is commonly cut, and that's one of the things that makes cocaine so dangerous. I've been a recovering addict. Cocaine was my drug of choice since 7/25/17. And cocaine is cut with a lot of different ingredients out there, but the number one reason that it's even cut is money. That's ultimately what it comes down to, is money. And why do you cut it? Because you got to get the weight. You have to make it way heavier to get more money, because everything is measured out by weight. If you're new to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button. So these are common things that dealers will actually put into cocaine to get it to weigh more, to make the product go further, to make more money. Because pure cocaine, again, is a yellowish tint. Unfortunately, movies and all the stigma around it have made it into a white powder, which it's actually not. So it's very common for it to be cut with boric acid, laundry detergent. There's a lot of unscented laundry detergents out there. And if you've ever looked at powdered laundry detergent, it looks like cocaine. Another one is creatine, laxatives. These are the most common cutting agents that you're gonna find out there, caffeine. And this is all about weight. These aren't to get you high. This isn't any kind of like chemical reaction going on in your system. It's literally just putting junk into this to make it heavy, to make it look like what you think cocaine should look like. So you're gonna do lines of it and think it's pure cocaine, which it's not. Now you've gotten the weight up. The problem though, and this is where it's very dangerous in cutting drugs, and drugs alone are dangerous. Now when you start cutting them, makes them even more dangerous, because now the more that you cut a drug, it loses its potency. So how do you start getting the potency back? People will put in things like Ritalin, because it's a white chemical, white pill. You crush it up, put it in there. People will actually mix meth into when it comes to cocaine. One of the scariest things that people actually put in there is fentanyl now. Fentanyl, it's common to find fentanyl now in cocaine, and it's almost not a sense of, are you trying to split it and cut it more, but it's a form of almost speedballing. And if you don't know what speedballing is taking a depressant or an opiate, fentanyl, oxycodone, hydrocodone, any of these opiates, and mixing a massive stimulant like cocaine or crystal meth to it, that the power of these drugs tries to offset each other, and it just plays a total wreck on your system. So to give the drug a little bit of a different effect, to try and sell it even for a little bit of money, people will mix fentanyl inside this, which makes it very dangerous, especially when it comes to ODing on it. Because what people don't realize is, now that you have this cocaine that's cut with all this different crap, is the fact that just cocaine alone you can overdose on. About 30,000 people a year plus die from cocaine overdose. One of the things that it will actually do is it will rupture your artery in your heart. It is cocaine the biggest reason of people for any drug experienced 911 calls or emergency room visits is cocaine use, because they think they're having a heart attack. The problem though is, if you also mix in something like fentanyl to it, fentanyl is treated differently than what a stimulant is, and to OD on, and that's what makes this extremely dangerous. And that's what makes it so scary out there, is people don't know what are mixed into these drugs. And anytime that you use drugs, you're playing Russian roulette. You don't know what you're getting, you don't know what you're using, and you're playing with your life. And I get what it's like to be an addict. I get what it's like to be obsessed and have your life revolve around this and dictated by these substances. And that's the scariest part about addiction, is that even as an addict, I knew drugs were cut with this. I knew I was snorting up baby laxative. I knew I was snorting up stuff that no normal, sane human being would be like, dude, lay me out a line of laundry detergent, let me snort this up, and then next we'll do a line of meat tenderizer and boric acid. No one in their sane mind does this, but as an addict, we do. And that's the scary part about it, is when you literally lose your soul to this. And I can tell you, it's a struggle, it's a fight. And unfortunately, the power of cocaine, of what it does to your brain and to dopamine and to your serotonin levels, makes it very addicting. And unfortunately, there's this stigma around it that it's a safe drug, but now also with the introduction of fentanyl, it's anything but safe. And again, Jude, I know what it's like. I know what it's like to struggle. I know it's like to struggle with this and to fight with this. And I can tell you this, how I got sober is going to be different than anybody else gets sober. None of us are going to get sober the same way. It ultimately comes down to, do you want to get sober? Do you want to get clean? I mean, that's ultimately what it comes down to. Because it may be inpatient for some people, it may be outpatient for some people, it may be a recovery center. Some people might get sober just through NA and AA, who knows? I think therapy plays a big role in it, but it's finding what works for you through trial and error, through having support around you, letting everybody know that you're an addict, asking people for help, asking people just for their support and direction, and finding what works for you to get to that point where you do beat it, because you are worth it. I mean, hit the like and subscribe button, comment down below. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts, because that's ultimately what it's about. I find that the more that we share our experiences, the more that we share our knowledge, the more that it helps those who are addicts and even non-addicts understand what addiction's about and understand how to fight through this, because it is something that affects so many people out there. And for the ones that are going through it, man, whether you're on day 1, day 3, week 10, week 30, who knows? I'm proud of you, dude, because it is a fight and it is a struggle, but you're worth it.